You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields in this video and the Pittsburgh Steelers because, it's a rather interesting situation involving Russell Wilson right now. There was and I did the video, and boy, a lot of people really got upset by it, but it turns out it was the biggest Steelers video of the week, and that's the fact that an NFL executive went out there and he believes that by the time the bell rings on the regular season, Russell Wilson won't be on the Steelers. Now, I said in that video, I don't think that's the case, and that's because of Wilson's salary. It's only a $1.2 million salary, so even if he's the backup, you're not going to cut that. I wouldn't. But you never know, right? Maybe Wilson, if he was to lose the job, comes out and says, I want off the team. The problem is, where are you going to go exactly? Or what would you do? But now we've got multiple stories, if you count the one the other day, that believes Justin Fields is headed towards being the number one quarterback for the Steelers team. Russell Wilson's status as the number one quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers may not be locked in as it's been made out to be. ESPN's Brooke Pryor noted Wilson is currently tabbed to be the starter when 2024 regular season begins, but, quote, plans can change. Now, all I'm going to say about these kind of stories, when you see something like this, they've heard something from somebody, whether it's an agent, whether it's somebody with the team, whether it's a coach with the team. That's starting to float around. That's insider number 2 in 3 days now. Okay, so there's some kind of winds blowing involving this Justin Fields, Russell Wilson dynamic, okay? There were some question about Pittsburgh's plan at quarterback in the immediate aftermath of the team's acquisition of Justin Fields in a trade with the Chicago Bears. Of course, Albert Breer came out, said that Mike Tomlin was up front with Justin Fields and told him, you're going to be Russell Wilson's backup. There was an assumption that the Steelers signed Wilson to be their starter. It looked even more certain when Kenny Pickett was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles because he was reportedly unhappy with the team that brought in Wilson. But it's easy for Tomlin and the coaching staff to say whatever they want in March. It's another thing entirely when they are watching Wilson and Fields during training camp and practices as the season gets closer. I can tell you one thing right off the bat, and Russell doesn't have a bad arm at all, but Justin Fields' arm, as of right now, is stronger, all right? It's going to be a little bit more impressive, I would guess, in practice. The Steelers aren't married to Wilson at all. Here we go. He's 35 years old and signed a one-year deal for a veteran minimum of $1.2 million. His stats did rebound with the Broncos. He threw for 3,000 yards and 26 touchdowns in 15 starts. Stephen Reeves of The Ringer noted Wilson only ranked 25th among all quarterbacks in expected points per drop back, though he did have 6 touchdowns without an interception on scramble throws. Fields is 10 years younger than Wilson and has shown an exciting skill set at times in his first 3 seasons in the NFL. He's got his own flaws, including taking more sacks than any quarterback in the league over the past 3 seasons, 135. Jesus. Wow. By the way, Russell Wilson's taken a lot of sacks too. They're both some of the worst sack quarterbacks in the league. Among quarterbacks with at least 500 attempts in 2021, since 2021, Fields had a 60.3% completion percentage, which is 4th worst, only ahead of Sam Darnold, Bryce Young, and Zach Wilson. Yikes. But it's hard to argue that Fields doesn't have more upside than Wilson at this stage in his career. He's run for 2,220 yards and 14 touchdowns. In the last 3 seasons, last year, his best year as a passer, 61%, 2,500 yards, 16 touchdowns in 13 starts. I can tell you right now, I mean, if you're asking my opinion, I still believe Russell Wilson, as it stands right now, today, is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. All right, but Justin is flashing a lot more than he was, say, this time before last season. So, and you've got an age factor, and you got the I got to determine if I want to give him another contract factor. And all these things are going to come into play. I don't know how this is going to work out because Mike Tomlin has to win now. Because he's got to win now, he's going to go with the quarterback he thinks can win him games. My gut feeling is that's Russell Wilson. One NFL analyst, Nick Wright, gave his prediction about how the quarterback situation will play out during an appearance on The Herd. Quote, I know what Russell Wilson is right now. I think Russell Wilson is a quarterback who will be benched by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow. The show's host, Colin Cowherd, gave his thoughts that Fields isn't a good fit for the Steelers. And that's crazy, Cowherd, which Wright disagreed. He then gave his thoughts on how Fields is a superior quarterback of the two and predicted exactly when the quarterback change will happen. Quote, this is a great spot for Justin Fields because Russell Wilson is not good anymore, Wright said. Somebody put out a highlight package of Russell Wilson. They were like, this is what the Steelers are getting. And the second clip in the highlight, you know who missed a tackle on Russell Wilson? Gerard Mayo, who's now the head coach of the Patriots. Yes, once upon a time Russell was dynamic, so I expect Russell to be the week 1 starter. And I expect Justin to be the week 7-8 starter and the starter the rest of the way. So he's saying that he believes by week 7, it's a wrap. Justin Fields will be the starter and Russell Wilson will be on the bench. Well, now that wind's blowing pretty hard. You've got 3 different people in a matter of 3 days all coming out, wondering out loud, 2 of them that he won't be the starter by midseason. Essentially, one of them's kind of like, I don't even know if he'll make it to the start of the year as the starter. You got an NFL exec saying he may not even be on the team. By the way, he sold that Denver mention. He took like a $3 million loss on that home to get out of Pittsburgh. Yikes. That's rough. I still don't see a world, and I do disagree with that exec. I don't think Russell Wilson's going to get cut off this team unless he asks to be cut, and he's already lost his job. I also don't know that he's not going to beat out Justin Fields. So there's a lot to be desired in that report, and it's his salary. His salary makes it go either direction. He's only making $1.2 million. You can either keep him as the backup or you can cut him and it doesn't cost you any money either. Either way, or he goes in there and he takes that job and he keeps it. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Man, Russell Wilson fans will be furious again. I don't know what to tell you. You've got arguably the two most polarizing quarterbacks in the league on the same team now. I'm just saying, till Caleb Williams gets in the NFL. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.